How are you? Hi, Vanessa.
Hey.
So how about you guys just tell me a little bit about this week?
This week's been okay, but I feel like we've been a little worse off than before, especially since these two are, well, they aren't talking as much as I'd like them to.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really interacting, engaging as a family.
Yeah, it can be tough. How about you, Chantal? Tell me a little bit about this week for yourself.
I had a game at school, and everyone was excited for me at school, and they did really well. But I was kind of sad to see that my mom didn't come to support me at the games, and even like my coaches were asking like how come like my mom didn't show up, how come she doesn't show up on most of my games. And I know she's like working hard to support the family financially, but I just wish that she would come to like my games and stuff, because it's really saddening when like my friends and every team member has like their parents come to the games and I'm the only one whose mom doesn't come. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
How about you, Eva?
Well, I have to say it's been pretty tough coming to these sessions. I mean, obviously I agreed to come in, but I just feel like every time we come in, the attention is always on me. I feel like I'm blamed for all the family problems. I feel like my family thinks that I'm the only one with the problems. And just listening to Chantal, I mean, we are not on the same page because, you know, when I was 16, her age, I was juggling so many things. I mean, I was pregnant with her, I was going through a breakup, I was working for most of my pregnancy, and I managed to do it all. And of course, she's not in the same position, and I don't wish that upon her. She has a good family, she has a mom, she has a stepdad to care for her, and she should appreciate that. And I will always be there to support her financially, but I do feel like she's at the age where she should be independent for the most part.
Yeah, wow. It seems like you guys have very different opinions on what your family structure is looking like. So what we're actually going to try for this session today is something called sculpting. So basically we'll get one person at a time to position the other family members in a way that they perceive them. So we'll start with Chantal. So it'll be kind of like a play. You'll be the director, and you'll place people where you want them to in positions that you feel like they are. So if you saw me as shy, you would put me in a corner and make me look shy. So I'm gonna ask you to start, and then we'll move on throughout the family, and we'll have some discussion time after to see how you guys feel about the way Chantal perceives you, and yeah, hopefully we can get our opinions out, and you guys can get a better understanding of each other's positions on the problem. Alright, so now that we've moved the chairs out of the way, you can position your family the way you perceive them. So you can start with your mom if you want.
Okay. Mom, can you move over here? And then kind of like put your leg forward, and then turn your head and put your chin
To which
up.
side?
Like towards that way. And then chin up, and also fold your hands. Okay, and Henry, I'm gonna have you like right here. Can you put like your fingers like by your head, and then kind of like put your hand up? And then I have to position myself too.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess I see myself like kind of like down here and like.
Okay. So everyone kind of examine where you are right now. got the other people. And yeah, it's good, really good, Chantal. So we're gonna take a seat now and we're gonna discuss these positions and how you guys feel about them. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for participating in that. That was awesome. So right now what we're gonna do is that we're kind of gonna debrief what happened. Chantal's gonna explain why she put you guys in that position, why she put herself. And then I'm gonna get your guys' opinion on it as well. So how about we start off with Chantal. Explain to us your mom's, then Henry's, and then yourself's position.
Okay, so I put my mom in the position where she was like looking away with her hair like tilted up and like her arms were folded, because I feel like you know, and then I was on the ground like looking her and stuff, because I feel like as much as I tried to like get her attention and like get her to, you know, get involved with me and stuff, and then like my sports at school, I feel like she doesn't really pay attention to that, and I feel like she thinks that as long as I have like clothes on my back, food to eat, and like a place to sleep, like that's what I need really. And you know, it makes me sad when I see like other like teammates and my friends, like their parents coming over, like really supporting them and stuff, and it's like my mom rarely ever comes to my games. So it just makes me feel sad, and I'll put myself like, you know, I position myself on the ground like below, because I feel like although like, you know, I'm acknowledged at school like as being like this great player and stuff and really involved and doing well in school, I still feel like, you know, at home I'm just there. I'm just there. And then with Henry, he was in a position where like, you know, he's like thinking, and then he's like, you know, he's just using his hand, because I feel like although he wants us to like, he wants the family to come together, he wants us, you know, to have like that typical family structure where like, you know, the father, the mom, and the daughter, we are all getting well and stuff, but I feel like at the same time, he also doesn't acknowledge, or at least like in the many scenarios where like does the struggle, he doesn't even acknowledge like how it impacts me, like how this makes me feel, my emotions and stuff. I just feel like, you know, he thinks that it's that easy to like just leave the emotional aspects and just like come together and stuff. So I mean, I do appreciate him, and I guess things have been like a little bitter since he entered into our lives, but yeah, I feel like I don't have that emotional support from my family.
Mm-hmm. So Henry, how do you feel about the position that she put you in?
I feel like she put me in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
They've been going at it for quite a while, and it's really damaged the relationship. So I feel like they should just let their emotions go, you know, forget their feelings, and just solve this problem and act like a proper family again.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about you, Eva?
I mean, it's just upsetting to see Chantal perceive me that way. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, because based on the previous sessions we've had, you know, it makes sense, it adds up.
Yeah. What about how she positioned herself?
I mean, you know, I imagine Chantal to be doing so well right now in her life. I mean, she's 16, she has friends, she's involved in her sports, and I think that's good. I think it's good to juggle, you know, to juggle these things.
Yeah.
And I feel like the problem is that she's just focusing so much on this apparent problem we have and not being thankful for all these other positives that are in her life. And so that's just upsetting to see, and it's such a waste, because when I was her age, you know, I didn't have the same opportunities. She's in her prime years right now, or leading up to her prime years. So just enjoy these years.
But even if I have all these things, I still want my mom to be supportive of me. Like, I mean, as I mentioned, like my other friends, like their moms come to the sports, they come to support them and stuff, and they're involved in like parent activities at school. And it's like, you know, when people ask me why you don't come, why you rarely ever come, like when my friends and my coach ask me that, it's like, you know, it makes me wonder as well, and it just makes me sad.
So do you expect me to come to every game?
No, but like, to come more often, like you rarely ever come, like we can count the times that you've come.
I don't know, sure, it's good to share. I feel like, you know, I'm 32 years old. I did my part in raising Chantel. I think I did really well. I raised her by myself for the most part. And, to put it bluntly, I feel like these are my years. You know, I couldn't do the things I wanted when I was 16 or 17 or 18 or 19 because I was taking care of her, and that obviously consumes a lot of your time and energy. And now that she's old enough to care for herself, I want to use this time and take advantage of this time for myself and just really indulge in, you know, my marriage and my hobbies.
But the thing is, I'm not saying, it's not like I'm ungrateful. I just wish that you were there more often. That's what I'm really asking. I just wish that I had my mother there more often.
This is amazing that you guys are able to, you know, express your feelings, and I'm really glad that's the point of this activity, to get you guys talking. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get Chantel to sculpt again, but in this situation, she's gonna sculpt what she thinks the family should be looking like, what she wishes things would look like. So we can get up and try this the second time. So in this one, Chantel, you can direct everyone to what you think things should be looking like.
Okay, so in my idea of the family, or like what I would like the family to look like, would be Mom Kelly come closer, and then Henry hold hands, so hold her hand as well. So we'll be looking like this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So we're just gonna get Chantel again to explain the way she positioned people and why she chose that.
So I had my family, my mom and my stepdad, and I holding hands because in the family that I envision, I want us to really be connected, to connect even on the emotional level. And I realized like that's not going to happen like immediately, and it's going to take some time because of like everyone's experience, especially like with my mom. I realized like her past wasn't like the easiest and stuff, and her having to raise me from like the age of 16, like juggling through like work, the pregnancy, and then like the birth of me, and still going to school and being where she is, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But at the same time, I feel like her past and her experience really affects in how she connects with me and how she communicates with me in general. So I'm wondering if there's a possibility where we can like at least take steps to move beyond that and to just have that mother-daughter connection where we start like talking about like, you know, our basic interest and like where she can come more to like my games and stuff. So like that's why I had us like holding hands, and as well for Henry, like I realized like he's very supportive as well, just like my mom. Like when it comes to like financial stability, like we don't have any issue with that. But I feel like at the same time, and as I mentioned again, he doesn't really recognize like how like the feelings are involved, and I guess like for him as well, I would just like when he doesn't just focus on like the issue and like solving the issue, but like also, you know, realizing when someone is feeling hurt, feeling sad and unsupported emotionally, and you know, yeah, to just have that support and that connection between the family.
Yeah, of course. Ika, how do you feel about what she looks for?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree with what Chantel said about, you know, me being stuck in my past. You know, in all honesty, yes, I do think about my past quite often. Sometimes even, you know, there are weeks when I think about it at least once a day. And it's hard to move past that. It's just, I guess, seeing Chantel at the age of 16 is triggering to me because I had her at that age, and you know, I can't lie and say that it was the happiest time, because it wasn't. It was a very scary time for me. And not that I resent Chantel for this, but I do feel jealous sometimes that, you know, she's 16 and she's able to do the things that I wasn't able to do at her age. So, you know, I guess my goal is to make the most of the years I have now, but it is definitely very challenging to move past these feelings.
Yeah. That can be hard. Yeah, so Henry, what do you have to say about what they're sharing?
Since we've been a family for forever, I feel like we should always behave like a family, like a team. And despite, as much as I would like for the problem to go away, I think it's a little bit more other problems that we need to look at. We definitely need to look at the feelings more and like maybe resolve some issues with our past, and yeah, there's definitely more to it. I mean, if we're gonna act like a family and make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, well guys, it's really good to hear that you guys are getting each other's perspective and being able to just recognize differences in opinion and where you guys can come together. So yeah, we're gonna leave it at that for today. Thank you so much for sharing your opinions and your thoughts, and next week we'll pick up and we'll get Ika to do the sculpting next time. So Ika's gonna direct you guys and how she views it, and you guys can share your thoughts on that as well. Thank you so much.